The woman kicked the true biological child of the parents who had raised her. The woman was actually a disciple of a master who studies cultivation to become an immortal. But because she was lazy and did nothing but sleep, she was struck by lightning during her trial and returned to the mortal world. Unexpectedly, while walking down the street reading a comic book, she was hit by a car, and her soul entered the world of the comic book she was reading, taking the place of the character named Claire. When the woman regained consciousness, she absorbed the memories of Claire, whose body her soul now occupied. Claire had a childhood friend named Gina. Claire grew up in Gina's family, enduring only abuse. Gina was taken back by the family who had raised Claire when she became a young woman, but Gina didn't know she would regret returning to her biological family. Because the woman was no longer the old Claire, who was easily bullied, she kicked Gina and her boyfriend into the swimming pool. When Gina's mother, who had raised Claire, arrived, the woman kicked her too, and then left immediately. Claire called her grandfather, and her uncle came to pick her up and take her home because her grandfather was busy. When the woman arrived at her uncle's house, she noticed a cat and approached it. Her uncle said that the cat belonged to his friend. The woman, who could talk to animals when she was in the immortal realm, told her uncle that the cat said not to let his friend walk without shoes because his feet smelled. The uncle was puzzled, felt pity for Claire, and concluded that the young woman's mind had been affected by all the hardships she had gone through. However, Claire then told her uncle that someone was secretly entering his room and taking a document. Her uncle thought she was referring to his new assistant, which made him suspicious, and he had the assistant investigated. His niece was right. Their school field trip arrived, and Claire continued to be bullied by Gina and her classmates. But Claire, unlike before, didn't let them win their bullying attempts. They took Claire to a remote forest to abandon her and have her eaten by wild animals. However, they didn't know she could talk to and tame wild animals. Instead, they were the ones who got scared when they saw Claire with fierce wolves in a cave. They all ran away, and when their worried parents found them, they all ganged up on Claire, saying she had brought them to the remote forest to be eaten by wild animals. The children's parents were angry at Claire, but shortly after, her grandfather arrived to pick her up. The parents recognized him and were terrified, realizing that the grandfather of the child they wanted to bully was the wealthiest person in the area. It was then that Gina also learned that the father of the person who raised her when she was a child was the wealthiest man